We say mozzarella. That's what we say, mutz. We don't say mozzarella.
It's mozzarella, okay?
We're from Brooklyn. That's how we say it. Fresh mutz.
Hi, I'm Frank. I'm a professional chef, and in this box are all the ingredients for a $75 grilled cheese.
I'm Beth. I'm a home cook, and in this box are my $7 grilled cheese ingredients. Oh boy!
All right, there we go.
What did Frank send me here?
Okay, let's see what we got.
Boy, I hope it's flour. I need flour. I've been baking like crazy. Flour! Oh, this is expensive flour. Nice. How am I gonna make a grilled cheese with this?
All right. I think it might be impossible to make a bad grilled cheese.
This is very generous, Frank. Thank you for this. So I guess this is Frank's recipe book. Let me get my glasses.
For my grilled cheese, I had some nicer ingredients to work with. For the cheese, I had planned on making my own fresh mozzarella.
What am I gonna do with the cheese curd? Frank, we could have just had fresh mozzarella. Am I gonna make mozzarella?
I had tomatoes for roasting.
Look at these beautiful tomatoes.
With garlic,
Garlic, of course.
basil, and extra virgin olive oil.
This is good imported olive oil. Beautiful brown eggs. Nice.
All of this on a freshly baked rustic bread.
I haven't had good fresh bread since March.
And if you know anything about me, there was some fancy salt.
Ooh la la. Fleur de sel.
With Beth's recipe, I have some simple ingredients. Things you're more likely to find in your local grocery store.
In my family, grilled cheese is called a quickie pie. This is my mother-in-law's quickie pie maker. You seal it, put the lock on, and when you open it, it's a little sandwich that's sealed on all edges. I've made thousands of quickie pies. Richie loved it when he was young. I loved it when I first got married. We love them. We love quickie pies.
For Beth's recipe, we have some white bread, some ricotta cheese, garlic, mozzarella, and tomato soup.
Tomato soup and a quickie pie, the perfect combination.
These ingredients may be simple, but I think that I can elevate them and make them a little bit better.
I can't imagine what Frank is going to do to my quickie pie recipe. Probably going to be fabulous, knowing Frank, because he's a great chef. It's not going to be a quickie pie.
If I had to guess, this would probably cost about $7 to $8.
With this expensive oil and the curd and the flour, $65? $75? I could believe that, but really, Frank, you're going to be making my quickie pies. I'm telling you, hands down, they're going to be better than your $75 grilled cheese. Here we are in my kitchen.
So welcome back to my home kitchen. Always lovely to have you here.
I love my kitchen. I spend hours and hours a day in the kitchen. I'm making lots of chocolate chip cookies for my grandbabies.
Let's cook.
So all we have here, Frank, is a list of ingredients, no directions, because I've seen this show on the Epicurious channel. I know all about it.
For the dish I was making, I was going to make mozzarella and carrozza.
Mozzarella and carrozza with basil and roasted tomatoes.
Translated from Italian, that means a mozzarella and a carriage. And it's the Italian version of grilled cheese.
I've eaten this in restaurants many, many times. You're right, Frank. This is a delicious cheese sandwich.
It's kind of like a mozzarella stick. The bread is kind of sealed around some mozzarella, and then it's basically fried.
Okay, you want me to roast the tomatoes. You're going to have me make the mozzarella.
I sent Beth curd, and this is what she's going to make the mozzarella out of.
That's definitely a Rose question. I have no idea how to make mozzarella.
Mozzarella might be technically difficult, but once you see it once or twice, it's really not all that hard. Beth, my wife thinks you got this. Don't worry about it. She's seen you cook. She trusts that you can do this.
I'll put everything together, and then I'm going to dredge it in flour. I got you. This sounds good. This sounds really good. The only thing I'm not sure about is how to make mozzarella. I don't know how to do it at all. But Rose will help me out. I'm not worried. You can't get the better of me, Frank Proto. Hey, Rose!
Hey, Hey, nice to see you. How's the grilled cheese going?
Well, Frank sent me mozzarella curd instead of mozzarella.
That sounds like Frank.
I have never made fresh mozz.
You know, like all good cooking things, it takes practice, but you're going to get it. So really now the key is to break up the curds, put them in really hot, salty water.
How much water would you use for 3 pounds of curd?
You want to cover it and make sure it's salty too, because if I know Frank, he probably wants it as salty as the ocean.
All right, so but I'm not actually going to boil it. I'm just going to put it into hot water.
I would go up to like 170-ish and let them sit and melt for a few minutes, maybe up to 4 to 5 minutes. And then what happens is you take a wooden spoon or some sort of a paddle and kind of pull it. That's really what they call it. So you pull it, and what happens is the proteins, the cheese proteins in the milk start to stretch and realign. So you get this really nice, super melty, stretchy quality with mozzarella that you don't get with other cheeses because of the processing method.
Do I have to do anything with it after that or just start to use it?
Really good question. Once you form the balls, you want to put them in ice cold water. It's firm enough so that you can slice it for your sandwich.
I guess I'm going to be using the olive oil to saute it, but I think I'm going to put a little butter in the olive oil too, just for flavor.
If you want to add butter, just between us, I think that's the way to go.
But don't tell Frank. I really appreciate it.
Oh, sure. I can't wait to see the final product.
I wish I could be with you in person to let you taste it.
I do too. I feel like we would have a good time together.
Thank you, darling. I feel much better now. I feel like I can do the mozz. Don't get me wrong. I don't think this is going to be easy, but I think it's going to be fun.
Let's talk about what we're going to put on the inside of this sandwich. I like Beth's method. I think it kind of reminds me a little bit of a calzone. And what's cool about this is you can put whatever you want in there. You have leftover meatballs, you got sausage, you got pepperoni. You can put whatever you want in there. I have some peppers in my fridge. So what I'm going to do with the shishitos is I'm going to slice them. And all I'm going to do with them is take the top off and then cut them down the center and get the seeds out.
I think the best thing to do would be to start with the roasted tomatoes.
Beth's are roasted tomatoes so that they dry out a little. If they're still wet, they're going to make our sandwich soggy.
Let me just take the top off. That's a nice tomato.
For the fresh tomatoes, I want Beth to cut them 1/4 inch.
I don't want the slices too thin.
I think that's the perfect size to get the moisture evaporated out and still keep some of the tomato texture.
So I've got my tomatoes nicely spread out on my pan. Put some garlic on, little cracked black pepper, some salt. Tomatoes love salt, and I love salt on my tomatoes. Frank wants sugar on these tomatoes.
This point of the year, tomatoes just need a little extra flavor. So the sugar's going to help make them a little sweet.
And now we have to get some of this beautiful olive oil. $75 for these ingredients. It's amazing. It's good to be a professional chef, Frank.
I'm going to cut some garlic up, and with this I'm just going to do a very rough chop. So we got our garlic and we got our peppers.
I already preheated my oven to 275. I'm going to put these in for about 40 minutes. Now I'm going to clean up and get ready for the mozz.
Okay, now it's time for the cheese. You can't have grilled cheese without the cheese. For the cheese, we have some mozzarella. This is a low moisture mozzarella. I sent Beth curd, and this is what she's going to make the mozzarella out of.
The curd is the cheese itself with the water removed, so it's kind of dry. I'm going to rehydrate the curd so that it gets more pulley, you know, more mozzy. It rips apart really easily, but Rose said to try to make the pieces even, so I think I'm going to cut it. This isn't all going to be the same exact size pieces. But we're home chefs, right? Doesn't have to be perfect. Just has to taste good.
I'm just going to cut some thin slices. I'm going to cut about 1/2 pound of that up. I just want to have it so that I can kind of place it and it's not going to kind of fall out the sides because I'm going to crimp this sandwich together. Let's go over to the stove.
I've had the water boiling. The temperature is over 200 degrees, so I know it has to cool down a little bit. I'm going to take the temperature of the water, add some salt.
To make fresh mozzarella, what you're going to do is get some water just below the boil, about 180 degrees, and you're going to put some salt in it. I usually go sea salty. If you add salt later, you're gonna have a very bland piece of cheese. When you add the salt to the water, it's gonna get into the cheese.
I'm gonna make sure that I have lots and lots of salt in my water. I certainly don't want to disappoint the salt master. Here we go. Cool. This is right at 180. Let me add some salt. Frank's not going to be happy with that. It all goes in. Want to make sure this tastes like the sea. Perfect.
So now we're over the stove. I'm going to fry the peppers. I have a small saute pan. It's on kind of medium-high heat. I'm going to put some olive oil in here. So I take my peppers, my pan's nice and hot, my oil is kind of shimmering. Hit it with some salt. I want the peppers to start to brown. So I'm going to leave it be for a second or two. You can see they're starting to get brown. I'm going to add some of my garlic now. I'm going to lower my heat just a little. Give this a little swirl around. So now the peppers look like they're ready to go. The garlic is lightly brown, not too brown. You can see the peppers are starting to wilt. I'm going to just leave this in the pan until we're ready to assemble.
I'm kind of making a mozzarella station here. Got my hot, salty seawater, my mozzarella curd, and my ice bath. So when I form the balls and they look perfect, I'll be able to put it right in. I'm hoping, Frank. I'm really hoping. But we'll see. Here we go. I'm just going to let this sit for a little while now that everything is underneath the water. I don't want to disturb it. Give it a couple of minutes.
Generally, when I make fresh mozzarella, I wear a couple of pairs of latex gloves on my hands. Beth just needs to be careful not burning herself.
I never use gloves in the kitchen. This is going to be hot, though, so I may have wanted gloves, but I'm a Brooklyn broad. I can handle it. Dee, 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 dee. Waiting for the curd to come together. I'm a terrible singer. Richie's the professional musician, not me. Let's see if I can help it come together. Look at this. This is so cool. It's starting to stretch. That's amazing. That is really neat. This feels fun. Kids would love this. Oh, I would love to do this with Lukey and Zachy. The water's not that hot. It's really not.
After the mozzarella curd is super smooth, then what you want to do is fold it in on itself and make balls and do the pinch. And it looks so easy, but it's not.
It feels like Play-Doh. I know this doesn't look very elegant, but it's working. I'm just kind of forming it like a little bread loaf, sealing it at the bottom. It's fun. I kind of feel like a professional right now. I feel like this is really going well. That's my last one. I am very happy with the way that turned out. What do you think? That's really good. That tastes like fresh mozz. Frank, you would love this.
Beth had paired tomato soup with this grilled cheese sandwich, but I'm a chef, of course, and I have to mess around with things. I'm going to use tomato fondue, and I'm going to make kind of a spreadable jam or condiment to put on the finished sandwich. I have some oil in the pan. I have about 1/3 to about 1/2 cup, and I'm going to add my garlic. We're just going to cook the garlic until it's fragrant and light brown. I'm going to add my tomato paste. I'm going to use a whole can of this. What I'm going to do now is stir the paste into the oil, so that oil kind of like starts to fry our paste. Hit it with a fair amount of pepper, salt. We're going to season it up fairly well. At this point, I want to keep stirring it so that the paste doesn't burn. Lower the heat just a little bit. I'm just going to add a little water to this. I don't want the tomato paste to reduce too quickly, so the water's just going to add a little time in order for this tomato paste to cook through. I'm also going to add a little red wine vinegar. This is store-bought red wine vinegar. And if you look at it, you'll notice that it's really deep red. It's never that red. If I have any leftover red wine, I'll pour some of the vinegar out and put red wine in there. It just makes it taste a lot better. So I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of this just to give it a little acidity. And I'm just going to let this cook for a few minutes. And that's going to be our tomato fondue. So my fondue is done. I don't necessarily want my fondue to be that oily. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this into fine mesh strainer. And my oil will separate out a little, and I'll have the oil to use for my sandwich. We'll let that drain. I'm not going to push it down. I'm not going to squeeze it. I'm just going to let it drain naturally. And that's the tomato fondue.
I'm going to slice everything up so I can get ready to make the sandwich. Here's my artisan bread. White bread, Frank. I think we would have been better with white bread. Ooh, that looks nice, though. This is certainly going to be delicious. I don't want the bread to be too thick because I don't think the mozz will melt if the bread is too thick. Bread cut. I'm going to clean this up and cut the mutts.
I have everything here that I need to assemble my grilled cheese sandwich before I bring it over to the stove and cook it. This is what I got. Mozzarella. It's low moisture mozzarella, some whole milk ricotta cheese, some of the peppers that we fried up earlier with garlic and oil, some salt, and some white bread. You don't want to get anything fancier than this white bread. It needs to be squishy so that it'll crimp together. If it's fancy, it won't stick together. If you don't have a quickie pie mold, you can use a regular coffee mug. And this is the coffee mug I'm going to use. Once a princess, always a princess mug. Yeah, this is mine. Yes, it is. What I like about this is that it doesn't have a sharp edge. It has kind of a rounded edge. Plus, it's also large. So my end sandwich will probably be around that size.
I did leave the mozzarella in the ice bath. I want it to be nice and cold. I'm going to take these little ones to the birthday parade and leave them on the stoop for Lukey so he can have them later today for his birthday. This slices really nicely. 6 years ago, I became a grandma. I didn't think I could be happier than when my children were born, but I think it was the happiest day of my life.
So I get my pieces of bread here. I'm going to put my mozzarella down first, just like 3 slices, and then a little bit of the ricotta cheese. And with the ricotta, I'm going to spread it out and make like a little bit of a divot so that it holds my peppers. Remember, you don't want to overstuff these. If you overstuff, things are going to kind of pop out. And then just a little bit of my peppers and garlic, another slice or 2 of mozzarella for safety, a little bit of salt, and then we're going to take our tops and squish them down.
Time to put the sandwich together. Couple of slices of mutts, pepper on the mutts, a little more salt. Here's my tomato, nice and roasted. Always salt on tomatoes. I know it seems like a lot of salt, but salt is wonderful. Salt is your friend. Frank knows what I'm talking about. Fresh basil. It smells heavenly. Some more mutts. It's going to be heaven.
Then I get my mug, lean on it so I get a good seal, and then really lean on it and twist. Okay? So what I get is this crimped sandwich. So if you got any cracks, you can always just pinch it together, but you'll see you got a nice seal on the edge. So I have these crusts. I'm going to fry them alongside or after I do my sandwiches and just snack on them.
Here's our sandwiches ready to be fried in oil and a little butter.
So we're by the stove and we're going to grill this grilled cheese. In this container, I have the oil from my tomato fondue. I'm just going to put this into the pan. So get this over a medium heat and just place it in the oil. And we're going to let this brown over like a medium to low heat, just for the fact that we want everything on the inside to get melty. So I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to take it really easy with it and just let it go.
This is beautiful extra virgin olive oil. This is very expensive. To fry in is crazy, but all right, Frank. The reason I add butter is because I really like the taste of the butter. I like butter's flavor, and I think it browns better. Into the flour.
So in this recipe, I have Beth dredging the sandwich. First in flour and then in egg. The flour, the egg, and the bread is basically the carriage for the mozzarella. It's going to give a nice kind of golden brown coating to the outside and keep everything in the sandwich.
The flour will seal in everything. Put this in the egg mixture. Egg on all sides. Get that right in the pan. And I just want to leave it alone because I want it to get a nice brown crust.
You can see that it's getting nice and golden brown. So I'm going to add a little more oil to the pan. And I'm not going crazy with the oil because I don't want this to be greasy. Turn these over. I'll kind of splash my oil over to where they are and let them go on the other side. I really don't want to press down too much. I just want to make sure they're settled in the pan. If you press down, I'm afraid the things are going to kind of squeeze out. I'm going to let them go on the other side again, just to be sure that I get it hot in the middle. I think the biggest mistake people make with grilled cheese is they're not patient. They get it in a pan that's too hot and the bread gets burned and the cheese isn't melted. You want to take it slow. Take your time. It's okay. If you're so hungry you need to eat it right away, maybe you should have had a banana earlier in the day.
Wow, look at that. Nice. That's golden brown. That's beautiful. The mutz is a little oozy, but for the most part, it's staying in the sandwich.
Okay, so at this point, I'm going to take some of my crusts and I'm just going to toast these off just to soak up some of that excess oil, and we'll have a little snack with them. Your Italian ancestors would not be appreciative if you wasted bread. Look at that, crispy and delicious.
Gonna put this on a paper towel so it drains a little bit of that oil. Look at that. Isn't that great? The mousse is definitely done. Nice and soft. That looks delicious. I can't wait to eat this. Let's bring this back to the table and plate it up. Okay, let's plate this beautiful sandwich. That's beautiful. That looks like the Italian flag.
I have the grilled cheese. It's nice and crispy. I have my tomato fondue that I made earlier. Get a nice sharp knife. Give it a nice slice. We have a nice creamy interior. The mozzarella is really melted.
A little of the fleur de sel, the expensive salt from France. Have to put a nice little piece of fresh basil on there just to decorate my sandwich.
Just a little bit of my tomato fondue so you can dip. And that's going to be my grilled cheese.
Frank, I hope I did you proud.
So my plating is really simple. It's a simple sandwich. It doesn't need to be fancy. It's just me and a sandwich. Can you tell who is who?
Now that's a beautiful sandwich.
Now's my favorite part. I get to taste it.
That's really good. The fleur de sel on top is just that crunchy, salty taste. Delicious. The cheese is fabulous. The roasted tomato is so rich in taste. This sandwich is like a warm hug. So wonderful. It's not a quickie pie, but this is good.
I'm going to dip it a little in the tomato fondue. Delicious. I would never have thought to put ricotta cheese in a grilled cheese. It is amazing. It's creamy, it's cheesy, it's got a little acidity from the tomatoes, and I think it's much better than your regular grilled cheese. But then again, grilled cheese is delicious no matter what.
Knowing Frank, he did great. But he's not a grandma, so there's going to be a little something missing.
Great job, Frank.
I can't wait to see Frank's quickie pie.
You know I've done a good job if she doesn't give it back. Hey Beth, how's it going?
Frank! This was so much fun. I've eaten this many times in restaurants. It's fabulous.
Did Richie get a taste?
He loved it. He loved the mousse, he loved the sandwich, but and the tomato for sure.
So let me tell you what I did with your thing, right? I didn't have the press that you were talking about, right? So I had to like rig it up a little. I used a really big coffee cup and smushed it down. I used my favorite mug that has a big hole and I kind of just smushed it down, you know? It turned out so good. I would never have put ricotta in a grilled cheese. It is amazing. I love it. I also put a little hot peppers in there, like, you know, the fried hot peppers. And instead of soup, I did a kind of tomato like paste fondue. Let me show you. I don't know if you can see it.
Oh, that looks great.
And this I made with a bunch of olive oil. And I drained that oil out and I used it to fry it in so that it has like a tomato oil.
That worked. It stayed together.
Oh, look at that. Absolutely beautiful.
Little basil just for you.
Yeah.
Looked a little chefy.
Yeah, a little chefy, right?
But the tomato put it right over the top.
It wasn't hard to fry, was it?
No, but I got to tell you something. A whole bottle of that extra virgin olive oil. I couldn't believe it. And I actually put some butter in there too.
Oh,
because I always like butter with my oil.
The way you do it in a restaurant is like you're not just using the oil once. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's still expensive oil.
Still expensive, I know. But I'm a chef. That's what we do.
Right. Exactly. A $75 sandwich. That's over the top.
Beth, I had a great time. It's always a pleasure working with you. I can't wait to see you in person and give you a hug.
Me
I
too.
look forward to that day. Take it easy, Beth.
Be well.